Welcome back to Ruiniverse. I'm Andrew, and in this video I'm continuing my playthrough of the RoboMon prototype. It's a game that's currently crowdfunding on GameFound. Check the link in the description for that. I'm currently in Port Platinum Northwest, but this is part 2 of that video because I'm about to battle against Waverly, the first of the champions that we get to see here with the water patch. So this is a full spoiler playthrough. If you want like the tutorial playthrough, start at part 1, check out my tutorial playthrough at Copper Ridge, as well as the rest of the series. If you just want to see a champion battle in action, here we go. Let's check out a previously on RoboMon. At the docks, you'll often find a RoboMon Fighting League club anchored, so you can try to earn a patch if you're into that sort of thing. A patch? Is this where I get a patch? I wonder if that's where the hatch battle is. Now let's talk to this guy here. He's fishing. Always on my search for a fishing pole. And the last thing here is going to be to go up and talk to this guy on the boat, the Shockwave. Port Platinum, RoboMon Fighting Club. Club leader, Waverly. Well, what do we have here? You think you've got what it takes to surf the wave, but you're about to jump into the deep end and there's no lifeguard on duty. And now for the action. Oh, he's got some unique Waverly battle music too. Let's hear it. Get that mood going. Champion Waverly says, so you're still a little wet behind the ears? This battle is going to be smooth sailing. For me, that is. He has 3 RoboMon, 15, 26, and 21. So 15 is a Finrid again. Oh boy. 26 is Tide Alligator. We've heard of those, but haven't seen one yet. He's going to have another RoboMon on deck. Number 3 is going to be up in this 3 spot. And I'm going to keep that hidden for now. I did look at it. But still a bunch of water types. So I'm going to give Fruit Flyer another chance, as well as, oh, I want to give Treadle a try, but Treadle's going to have a lot of trouble getting across this water board. We need someone who can move. So I think I'm going to use Reginaire and Fruit Flyer. Hydron could be good as well. But let's do Reginaire. This is just our starting lineup, so if someone gets knocked out, like I said last time, we do get to use our entire team if need be. And we're pretty fast here, so it'll be Fruit Flyer, then Reginaire, then Tide Alligator, and then Finrid. Again, that's 3 armor on Finrid. Tide Alligator gets 2. Then we roll up some dice. We get the first moves, both moves, first Fruit Flyer and Reginaire. We didn't roll any special attacks. We're not in position for a missed attack, so we can hit somebody with a fruit cannon, but not a big one. If I gave Fruit Flyer all 3 movement, how close can we get? We could get pretty close, but I'm scared of tanking again. Might want to move up and then move back. We want Reginaire to be able to get in too. So this does feel really dangerous. But hey, this is a champion battle, and we've got 4 more RoboMon on deck. So I'm going to use 3 of these movement to move 9 spaces, and Fruit Flyer does fly, so it doesn't care about the water. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That way if Finrid decides to do something in melee, it might just move 1 space, and that'll be a perfect setup for missed attack, my dream scenario. I'm going to save the token. We're not going to use that in case I need it for armor. We're going to use Wild, so we have to spend an energy to change it into a special attack symbol, plus 3 more because I am using Missed Attack, so a total of 4 puts it down to only 4. Now we can use Missed Attack against only Tide Alligator. It's out of position for Finrid, but that is 3 damage with advantage. So plus 3 is 6. Pretty good. We get to take out 2 armor tokens and do 2 damage against 12 hit points. Oh, I didn't even look at that. 10 more to go. Next up is Reginaire, and I didn't save it any movement, but it does have Tailspin. I think it's far enough away. Hopefully won't need the armor. I'm going to use this as movement and go 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2. But now it has 1 more movement point, but it takes 2 movement to move out of a water space. So it can't move anymore, but it can use Tailspin to move 3 spaces as though it had flying. So now we can ignore that water restriction and go 1, 2, 3 and use Tailspin to help get in range. And then it is Tide Alligator's turn. Bring on the pain. So it wants to do 2, which is to attack our highest health RoboMon, which is Reginaire. It wants to do a grab and spin attack. So its movement is 5 with swimming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can actually get into range because it can swim, so it doesn't have to worry about the water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is now diagonally adjacent, so it can use that melee attack. Oh, it's a range 3. So with grab and spin, it might be a melee attack, but it's not. So 1, 2, 3. It actually only needs to go to here in order to do a 5 damage attack against Reginaire with the black die and the trap symbol. 5 plus 1 is 6. And we used our token already. I think I'm just going to let it take the 6 damage. So I'm probably going to want to use this armor for Finrid. Trap did not work, at least. And then Finrid is doing 2, which means it wants to target our lowest health RoboMon, which actually now it is the Reginaire, and it wants to use Tail Whip, which is a range 2 attack, and it'll do it from here. Move 2 out of its 3 available movement. Range 2, 5 damage. I think that's... I was worried about Fruit Flyer, but it looks like Reginaire is the one who might not make it. So 5 damage, minus 1 is 4. You can use this armor die to make that 3, and Reginaire has 1 health left. Luckily it has 10. Whew. All right, round 2. And there's some yellow symbols and some armor. I like that. Definitely not missed attack situation. And Fruit Flyer only has 3 energy left. So 1 more missed attack and it is done. I think we have the symbols available to do Fruit Cannon this time. Might even use the token, make it a very powerful Fruit Cannon. And because I saw who's coming out next, I think I want to get both of my enemies pretty low before taking them out. That way when one of them gets knocked out, our opponent will send out their replacement, and I don't want to be facing off against that guy with somebody else. I'd like to be able to finish off whoever's left over as soon as possible and just have one opponent in this case. But Tight Alligator still has 10 health left, so I think we are safe to target it with this Fruit Cannon, and that's going to do 4 damage with advantage. So 4 is a crit. Okay, well, never mind. So 4 doubled is 8, and we roll again. Plus 2 is 12, or 10. I can do math, but that adds up to 12. And we actually did take out Tight Alligator, which was not what I intended. Because now, when it is Waverly's turn, or when it is Tight Alligator's turn, Waverly will send out the replacement. We won't get to act this round, but at the start of next round, we will recalculate initiative. So let's finish out this round. We can still move or something with Fruit Flyer, but I think I'll actually leave it. And then Reginaire, oh, that did cost 2 energy. Fruit Flyer has 2 left. You can overspend energy. We'll spend as much energy as we want for Reginaire this turn because it only has 1 health left. 4 damage. So I'm looking at its scratch versus its fan attack. We have the action token plus 2 dice, or 2 wilds that could turn into anything we want. Fan attack with 3 dice does 4 damage, and scratch with 2 dice does 3 damage. The air isn't going to do anything for us, so we may as well just do 4 because 4 is more than 3. We just have to spend the energy for it. So we're going to spend 2 energy for fan attack. We're going to use 2 energy to change both of these wilds into special attacks, and that is a total of 3 special attack symbols to use fan attack for 4 against Finrid, a normal modifier. Minus 1 becomes 3. Only break 1 armor off of that. That was disappointing. We'll move Tailspin to move 3 as though we had flying. See if that matters. And then Finrid is going to do 3, which is a water gun against a fire or earth type. In this case, it'll just target to whatever's closer. Water is actually disadvantaged against nature, and they're equally distant. So let's choose to, or no, again, this is an air type. So both air types. Let's target Fruit Flyer because it only has 1 attack left in it with 2 energy. So it may as well take the damage. We might even be able to block it. That is 4 damage, plus 1 is 5. We can block 4 of it. So Fruit Flyer takes 1. That ends the round. Reroll the dice. And I actually forgot, as soon as it was Tight Alligator's turn, should have put the replacement RoboMon out, although nothing would have happened with it. So it should already be visible. So I'm going to go ahead and place it now. So this guy's an ice type, not a water type. So Fruit Flyer cannot have advantage against him, but he can hit him with a mist attack. He is a big boy, taking up 4 squares. He pushed Fruit Flyer out of the way, and he joined the battle. And we're going to go ahead and use a movement to move 1 space. Now, no. Oh, we have to move 2. So we can go to here, because we have flying. And now we can hit these 2 spaces, which will hit Finrid and Polaris. I have to spend 3 energy for that. I only have 2, so we're overspending. This will be Fruit Flyer's last turn. It'll be knocked out from lack of energy. I could use an energy restorer first. The rules say I can't use it on a knocked out RoboMon, but it's not knocked out until the end of its turn. So I wonder if I can spend the energy and then use it before its turn is over and would be knocked out. That seems a little shifty. I'm going to use the energy restore first. bring it from 2, or the quick charge is what it's called. So I had 4, now I have 3 quick charges. And hopefully Fruit Flyer makes that worth my while. So I'll put it from 2 back up to 8. And then we're spending 3 to go down to 5. And I'm going to use these 3 special attack symbols along with the token, 2 dice and 1 token. So it's still going to have 5 on it. And we're using Mist Attack against the diagonally adjacent enemies. Nature type. Nature does not have advantage or disadvantage against ice, but does have advantage against Finrid's water type. So we're going to do 4 damage. Let's do Finrid first. 4 with the green die, plus 2 is 6. So both the armor's gone, and then 2 more. And against Polaris, it's going to be 4 damage with the black die, plus 2 is 6. So both armor's gone, and 2 damage there. That's it for Fruit Flyer, so Reginaire will go next. We have some wilds. I think Reginaire is about to run out of energy as well, but it's also running out of health. So I'm just going to let him go. And let's see if we can bring Pandal out, and his fire type will be stronger against the ice. So do as big of a thing as we can, which is the fan attack for 4 is the best it can do. I wonder if I should hit Finrid with that if I'm planning on bringing out Pandal. Although if Fruit Flyer sticks around, he's going to want to be hitting Finrid. I'm going to hit Polaris with the fan attack. I'm going to use 3 special attacks. So I'm going to use the action token and 2 wilds. Although that's risky because then we'll have no armor left. So I might save a wild for Fruit Flyer in case it needs an armor. So we're only doing 3 damage. Oh, air actually has disadvantage against ice. So I'm going to attack Finrid then. Fan attack against Finrid for 3 damage. Plus 2 is 5. Very nice. A total of 7 out of 10 on Finrid now. And that costs 2 energy plus the 1 for the wild. That's 3. Reginaire is out of energy. Has 7 damage on it. And he's going to be out of the fight. Next time it would be his turn, I can send out my replacement. Polaris is next. Everything's going to be coming at Fruit Flyer. Polaris wants to roll a 2, so it wants to target my lowest speed RoboMon. And it's using Frozen Punch, which is a melee attack. It is in melee range. It's going to do 4 ice damage. Unfortunately, ice does have advantage against air. So 4 with advantage. Crit 8, 11. Whew. Also pushes 2 and 11 damage. We can block 2 to bring that down to 9. Spend energy to change this into a block and change that down to 7. 7 is still a one-shot and Fruit Flyer's down. That was a big punch. So Finrid can't really do anything. So I'll go ahead and start the next round. And when it would be Fruit Flyer's turn, I will send out Pandal. When it would be Reginaire's turn, I'll send out Hydron. Guess I should have rolled the action dice already, but we're not really going to be able to use them unless they're armor, and they're not. They're down here. Then on Polaris's turn, it can start coming after my new guys. Wants to use Ice Beam against a nature or air type. I don't have those. Ice Beam is range 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It needs to move at least 2 spaces. So it will. This Pandal's kind of closer if you're not counting, or if you're taking into account diagonals being farther. So it's either tied or Pandal's closer. We'll have a target Pandal because ice is disadvantaged against fire. Ice Beam does 5 damage. It has a symbol I haven't seen yet. So that is a paralyzed symbol. So we need to roll a d4 along with the attack modifier. 5 damage minus 3 is 2. So 2 damage. We can use the attack token to block that. And a 2 is not a 1. If it had been a 1, Pandal would have been paralyzed and can't do anything on its turn. And then Finrid, it's a 1, which means it wants to bash our fastest RoboMon. Bash is melee, so I don't think the 3 speed is going to get it there. 1, 2, 3. Now we can reset for the next round and recalculate initiative, which actually means Hydron is going to be last. It's only a speed 20. Pandal is first. Let's see if we can throw a fireball at Polaris. We do have a lot of movement, too much in fact. We'll give him 2 movement dice to move 1, 2, 3, 4 on the edge of the dock there, and then 1, 2, 3 away is Polaris. And we can throw a fireball. Do we need to defend? We can only make a 2-point fireball, but I'm going to do it. I say 2-point. It's the second value, which is going to be 3, range 3, fire type. So 3 damage with advantage. Fire against ice. 3 plus 3 is 6. So Polaris has a total of 8 out of 12. He is next. Rolled a 2, means he wants to target our slowest RoboMon, which is Hydron if he can get to it. They Frozen Punch, which he can't because that is melee and his speed is only 2. So next up is Finrid. Let's hope he doesn't Try to target a fire type. 1 means he wants to target our fastest RoboMon, which is Pandal, but Bash is not a water type attack, so that's good. He moves 3, and then tries to use a melee attack, so he wants to get closer, but can't get close enough. So that was a nice round for us. Well, it's not even over. Hydron still gets to go. We have plenty of movement. They're actually lined up for Hydron to be able to hit both of them with his Squall ability. You just have to get him up to like here or here. We have plenty of movement. We just don't have these special symbols. But I guess even 1 symbol is 3, so that's pretty good. So let's try flanking. 1, 2, 3. We'll hit these 5 spaces, which includes both enemies, to spend 3 energy. And this token as a special to do 3 damage. Water type, which actually is disadvantaged against an ice. I did not realize. I'm going to stick with it. So roll against Finrid first. 3 damage with the black die. 0 is just 3. Actually is enough to finish it off. So even if it doesn't hit Polaris, that will be worth it. But we'll still roll 3 damage with the red die. -3 is 0. So too bad. Now we just have 1 opponent left. Let's see if we can roll some specials for Pandal's Fireball. And that's 0. 0 specials. Fireball is going to suck. Can still do a 1 damage Fireball, which is something. I mean, we get to roll the green die. Or we can slam. Oh, I never spent that Fireball energy. Pandal's Slam is better than Hydron's Peck, and we have 3 basic attack symbols. So I guess let's just stand here and punch. We're going to use Slam. 3 dice for 5 damage. Unfortunately, that means we're rolling the black die. 5 minus 2 is 3. But I'm going to use Overcharge, give Pandal 1 damage in order to add 2 more damage. So 3 becomes 5. Plus the damage is already here. It's 13, which is more than Polaris' 12. And we've beaten Waverly. So Reginaire and Fruit Flyer both got defeated. But Pandal and Hydron came out and were able to finish the job. Now Waverly gives me 10 silver, 2 batteries. Mark the silver on my player sheet up to 55 plus the tokens I have. 2 more batteries. And I'm supposed to turn to 4028. Says, wow kid, you got me feeling like a fish out of water, Waverly says. I guess even the biggest waves crash eventually, but I never expected to lose to someone so wet behind the ears. Anyway, here, take this, you earned it. Remove a water patch sticker from the sticker sheet, place it on the circle labeled water on your character sheet. I'll tell you what, take one of these too, Waverly says as he tosses you a fishing rod. I'm sure you'll be able to put it to good use. Finally, my fishing rod. Didn't expect it as a championship patch reward. Basically, this is another item I can put next to my RoboMon finder on the character sheet. That's to see the rules reference on how to fish. All right, so I drew in my fishing rods. You can always draw instead of consuming stickers if you like. Now that we have a fishing pole, let's use it. So I've been desperately wanting to use these for a while. This chart at the bottom, the fishing chart. So here we go. First step is to spend a battery. So this is kind of like the RoboMon finder, but you're fishing instead. And there's a little bit other stuff going on. So first thing is roll a d12, and we're hoping for a high roll. 9 is pretty good. Next step is to roll a d10. This d10 needs to be less than or equal to our d12 roll. 5. So it is less than or equal to, but it doesn't find us anything. Or at least on this chart it says nothing for a d10. Theoretically, other charts could say something. 5 is not great because now we need to roll a d8, and we need less than or equal to a 5. So let's see. 5. So actually that is a success. And now I have the option, because the chart says on a d8 I could use the search symbol. So I could now just give up on finding a RoboMon and roll a d4 and get something off the search chart. Question, is that worth a battery? I mean, I guess on a 1 I would get a battery anyway. So maybe that is worth a battery. But well, that's not what we're here for, right? So I'm going to roll a d6. And actually we just need not a 6. So 6, 1 through 5 is all going to be a hit on that. And a 2 is successful. Now the question is, do I want to roll a d4? At this point it's 50-50. I could take that d6 result and battle RoboMon number 16. But if I got to take the 50-50 on the d4, if I roll a 3 or 4, I get nothing. I spent that battery and all this time talking to you about it and get nothing out of it. But if I get a 1 or a 2, I will face RoboMon number 15, which presumably is rarer, and clearly, at least in this case, harder to encounter. But if I bust now, you'd have to watch me do all of these steps over again. So theoretically, this is all going to be water types. I could use a water type. So let's take the d6 result and battle the wild RoboMon number 16, which is going to be, I had all these memorized, I would just know, yeah, we've faced this guy before. Now it is a wild Propulfin instead of a competitive battle Propulfin. So the question is, which of our RoboMon do we want to use? Fruit Flyer and Reginaire are both down. I think I'll bring Treatle to the battle along with Hydron. Got 1 armor, and since it's our first wild battle this video, we'll note that this is a 3 timer. So we have been ignoring these timer symbols, but if every purple timer symbol we roll is going to add a token, and if it has 3 tokens on it, when it is its turn, it will run away. We'll lose the opportunity to reprogram it. So let's see what happens with our opening roll. Get this into the dice tray, and 2 already right off the bat. So put those next to the Propulfin. Let's see what our speed is. 82 is really high. I should have taken someone fast, honestly, because having a fast RoboMon gives you an extra capture window because it doesn't run away until its turn. So if you roll the dice at the start of the round, hit the purples, you still have a RoboMon's turn before the wild RoboMon runs away. In this case, that is not the case. As soon as round 2 comes around, we could very easily roll a 3rd purple and it will be gone. But at least Treatle is first. So first will be Propulfin's turn. And it got a 3, which means it wants to Water Spout a Fire or Earth type. There are no Water, Fire, or Earth types. Water is disadvantaged against nature, so we'll have it target Treatle. It's going to be 4 damage with the red die. -2 is 2, and we'll give it the armor. And now Treatle is going to use Fertilizer Bomb with 5 damage. It's going to cost 3 energy. And with the green die, 5 damage plus 2 is 6. Take this off and put 4 on it, which means it has 4 left. And I don't think I want to take the risk, because if we give Hydron an attack, even if it only does a couple of damage to whittle Propulfin down, still very likely we roll at least one of these and Propulfin will run away. So I'm going to spend Hydron's turn using a reprogrammer. Which means we get the box lid out. The question is, what size of reprogrammer? So we need to hit a 4 or higher. The closer we get to the green, more likely we succeed. When we toss the die in there, small reprogram is a D4, medium is 6, and large is 8. Do have 1 large reprogrammer. So what the heck, I'm going to use it and toss this into the box lid. Got a 7, so it is in this zone, which means I don't get any bonuses. If it had been at least touching the yellow line, we would get a +1. If it had been in the green zone, we'd get +3. As it is, we don't get any bonuses, but a 7. It's more than a 4, so we reprogram Propulfin to join our team, which means we can put this verse mode of Propulfin back into the verse deck. And then it is RoboMon number 35, so we're going to grab number 35 out of the RoboMon stack and get our player version of Propulfin. We'll take a look at that. 9 health, 7 energy, swimming very fast, 82, 4 movement, very good, charisma bonus, very nice. I did have a water RoboMon. What do I think? I have Hydron, but I think Propulfin is going to replace Hydron actually. Maybe I should replace Fruit Flyer or Treatle. This is a little bit weird. This doesn't have a special attack symbol, but I'm pretty sure Water Spout should be considered a special attack. Or I wonder if Flying Headbutt is meant to be normal, non-type normal attack. Something seems off about those attacks. Again, this is a prototype. The special attacks are all supposed to be typed, and every attack needs to be paid for with dice, so Water Spout needs some kind of symbol there. Flying Headbutt thematically does not sound watery, so I'm wondering if it should be basic attack, special attack. But nonetheless, I think we're going to add this to our team, and somebody else is going to have to go into storage. And I think it actually might be Sparky's time. We're going to did some shenanigans with him, using him in wild battles to heal. But I think I'm going to go ahead and let Sparky go into the save box, along with Armadillo and Burn Viper. If nothing else, Sparky doesn't give a skill bonus. But we do have 2 KO'd RoboMon. And before we go, we need to grab Propulfin's journal entry for us to add to our journal we're keeping for Grandfather. It says it monitors oceanic tectonic plates. So I can come in next to Hydron, filling up that page. That will end our visit to Port Platinum Northwest. Let's head east over here to, I assume, Port Platinum Northwest. Indeed, and this is where the museum is. Tune in next time. Thanks for watching. Subscribe so we can get more subscribers, and bye.